There's so much to talk about in this game. So let's turn it over to Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault, who's addressing the media postgame.
Mark, Shai's invested so much into that shot, and to be able to get it twice when you had to have it, just what does it say about the guy's work and the intentionality of it?
And the Golden State one. I mean, that was the shot of the night the other night, too. Yeah, I mean, tremendous poise, confidence. He doesn't change his mindset regardless of the circumstance. He doesn't break a sweat doing anything. That was an outstanding performance by him. Not only the last stretch, but the game control, the blend of attacking and passing, put his teammates in advantages all night. They threw 2 guys at him all night. And yet he was able to get his stuff in the game and also activate his teammates.
The mountain that Jay Will's probably looking up at the beginning of the game, knowing he may be minute for minute with Jokic, had to look pretty big. What did you make of the way that he just approached that tonight and was able to, have the success that he had on both ends?
Yeah, unbelievable competitiveness, by him. He knew he was going minute for minute. I told him that before the game. And he just leaned into it and he took on the challenge. Obviously, Jokic is as tough of a cover as anybody. But he was outstanding. And, a lot of guys on the team play varying roles, fluid roles, if you will, depending on circumstances. He's one of them. So for him to get a performance like tonight, just so that everybody's aware of what this guy is capable of as a competitor and as a player, I'm incredibly happy for him. And obviously we don't win that game without him.
You touched on it with Shai, but 15 assists on a night when he's on the verge of a historic individual accomplishment. Just what does that say about his approach to the game?
Yeah, I mean, he never presses. He's just got unbelievable awareness of the circumstances, awareness of the length of the game. I think that's one of his superpowers is he understands how long the game is. And so he can make the right play, knowing that he'll get his cracks. If he misses shots early, he knows that there's more game left, and he always stays in it mentally. And I think that's part of the reason why he's as consistent as he is. But I thought his passing again tonight was really good. Even the simple ones that weren't assists, they doubled him all night. He got off it early, like the one to AJ late that AJ drove Hardaway down there. It's just a simple play, ahead of the defense. So he had a great floor game tonight. Obviously, a great close. He's a great player.
AJ's back after a long time out, made an instant impact. Just tell me about what you saw in AJ tonight.
Well, he's obviously, a really good player, but you never know how a guy's going to come off of a 2-month injury from a conditioning standpoint. I played him 13 straight minutes in the first half. I don't know if that was my best performance, but he was really good. He was ready. I think anytime a guy comes in and is in that much rhythm and is in that much shape to be able to do what he did tonight, it's a testament to all the invisible work they do to get themselves back to that point. And he was really diligent with a setback. That's hard mentally when you think you're going to be back a certain time. He has a setback with an ankle injury, and he just keeps plugging. And we don't win that game without him either.
Yeah, and just thoughts on McCain's minutes. Played him heavy in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, with the way they were playing, Shai specifically, we knew that we could stress them out by having the shooting gravity, playmaking on the court. And he was holding up defensively pretty well, fundamentally. The other thing for him tonight is, he hasn't been here long. And last game, for whatever reason, I didn't play him in the fourth quarter, just went with other guys. And talked to him about, today, like, not reading into those situations. These guys are so used to that, but he might not be. And I thought he showed great mental toughness tonight. He just got himself back to zero, got himself ready to play, and he, turned around, and he's the guy down the stretch, and he helped us win the game.
It was Hispanic Heritage Night here inside of Paycom Center, and that only scratched the surface of how fun the energy was inside of this building. A 129-126 victory over the Denver Nuggets. And after the game, our very own Nick Gallo caught up with Jaylin Williams, Jay Will. Let's listen in.
Jay Will, your closer, your MVP with 2 massive shots.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like as you guys see him go to work like that late?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to watch the MVP. Night in, night out, he shows who he is in this league, and the MVP. And I'm glad he's on our team because he just saved my ass.
You matched Jokic minute for minute, another multi-time MVP. That's quite a battle, and you showed yourself on both ends of the floor. What was your mentality coming into this game?
Just doing whatever the team needs me to do. Of course, I'm not used to playing that many minutes, so I was out there a little bit tired, but I wish I could have did a little bit better, but it was a fun game, fun competitive game.
You help orchestrate things with the other guards on the floor. You get A.J. Mitchell back, Jared McCain with some massive shots against their zone. What was key in just trying to break them down and execute?
Yeah, just moving the ball, not losing our principles, doing the things that we're used to doing, and I'm glad we got A.J. back out here.
The resilience of this team, there were so many different times where things didn't go your way. Why does this group not break?
Yeah, it just shows that we stick with it. Regardless of what's happening, regardless of the game, up 20, down 20, whatever it is, we stick with who we are, and I feel like that's what's built us to be who we are.
Thanks, Jay Will. Congrats on the night.
I done told you about that. Oh, boy.
What a great performance from Jaylin Williams, Jay Will, stepping into an expanded role here tonight. His second consecutive start as the Thunder plays without Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein, but that is no matter for Jay Will. That is why he is our forward player of the game. More minutes just means more of the same great production that we've seen from Jaylin Williams, who finished this night with 29 points and 12 boards in this game.
I think I was told earlier tonight by our good guy Cole Turlip that this is only the second time in Thunder history a player's put up a stat line like Jay Will's tonight with 7 threes and the rebounds and the blocks. And the other guy is this guy named Kevin Durant. So
interesting.
Pretty good game there by Jay Will. And again, just the timely threes that he hit, along with the defense that he played, the way that he competed throughout the night. Again, 29, 7 threes, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. Just an incredible performance by him. We talked about him all pregame show about what an impactful player, the team-oriented mindset that he has to play whatever role that he needs to play any given night. We've seen the development of him as a player. You know, he had 30 in a game just a couple of weeks ago, which was a new career high against San Antonio. And you saw it that night of what a capable offensive player he is. He's become such a better shooter, but he's also a more decisive, aggressive shooter. He really believes in his own three-point shooting ability, and he showed it tonight with 7 of them.
Yeah, came into the league knocking down those threes with a lot of confidence, and he talked about the fact that he's played the most minutes that he's played in a while, 39 minutes in this game here tonight. And it's not just 39 minutes matched minute for minute with Nikola Jokic, and still have the stamina to put up the stat line that he is. I mean, that takes a lot of effort.
It also takes a lot of mental toughness because, Jokic is going to finish over you. He's going to hit those crazy shots where it looks like he's shooting it out of the back of his head, and they're bouncing around on the rim, and you're wondering, how in the world does that keep going in? And you've got to just kind of put your head down and commit yourself to just executing on the next possession, and then go right back and defend the guy, battle with him, bump against him, all those sorts of things. It takes a lot of physical and mental toughness.
Yeah, you got to have a short memory when you're going up against a great player like Nikola Jokic, but you also have to be pretty talented, pretty physical, and pretty tough. Jay Will checking all those boxes in this matchup here tonight with his 5th double-double of the season. And we want to remind you that you can watch every highlight and every big moment with game replays on the FanDuel app and your choice of 5, 10, or 15-minute condensed games. Download the FanDuel Sports Network app today. And coming up on Thunder Live, Oklahoma City's homestand continues, and their string of tough opponents marches on as they welcome in the Boston Celtics out of the Eastern Conference. We've got your scouting report on this matchup when we come back right after this. What a Monday evening we had here in downtown Oklahoma City. The Thunder with an extraordinary game inside of Paycom Center, a 129-126 victory over the Denver Nuggets. Game number 2 of a nice, prolonged 4-game homestand that has spanned 11 days for Oklahoma City. It started against the Golden State Warriors. The Thunder won that game, very low-scoring matchup on Saturday. The win here tonight against the Denver Nuggets. The next matchup going to be on Thursday against the Boston Celtics, and then everything will round out on Sunday at noon against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So 4 consecutive games against really tough opponents coming inside of Paycom Center, and the next one up is the Boston Celtics out of the Eastern Conference, a team that has been playing really well despite the fact that they've dealt with their fair share of injuries as well. They just reintroduced Jason Tatum into the lineup for them, and this is a team that's been playing pretty strongly as of late.
Yeah, and you kind of know what you're going to get with the Boston Celtics. That's a team that loves to spread the floor and shoot lots of threes, and they've done a great job of it, and they've kind of had to reorganize themselves around Jaylen Brown, who has been tremendous all season long. He's been so difficult to handle, and really in so many ways. You know, of course, Jason Tatum was an MVP candidate himself last year. Jaylen Brown has kind of become one this season. Again, he's just done so many different things. You can see the scoring. He's developed developed as a player and had to do it really as the primary focus of their offense. So, it's one of those things. Obviously, you don't want Jason Tatum to be hurt, but it provided an opportunity for Jaylen Brown to become a better player. But you mentioned it, Paris. Tatum's back, the reintegrating him back. It's going to be somewhat of a slow process. He's got some rust on him, but he's a tremendous player, tremendous two-way player as well. Really, really good on the defensive end.
Yeah, the Thunder's game against the Celtics will be Tatum's 4th game back after missing all of that time recovering from that Achilles tear. And here are their numbers. They're the second in the Eastern Conference, right behind the Detroit Pistons. They allowed the fewest points in the NBA. That defense has been pretty sharp, but also the three-point shooting is really where they hang their hat. Royce, you mentioned it, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. That backcourt duo is the first line of the scouting report when you're going up against the Celtics. So defense always going to be the priority for Oklahoma City. That's the end they want to hang their hat on each night. But when you're going up against a team like the Celtics, who have that strong backcourt duo and also like to shoot the three as much as they do, what's key?
I mean, a lot of it is just about your effort, your communication, and also don't sleep on Derek White, who has been awesome for them as well. So you can add him into that mix, and he is a guy with a quick trigger, a lot of range from three. So you've got to be dialed in on those coverages. You're going to understand that the Celtics are probably going to shoot 40, 45, maybe 50 threes against you because they like to put them up. They don't hesitate too much about them. But when they spread the floor and you overcompensate, that can open up some of those dribble drives to the lane. So you've got to be dialed in on those coverages and hit those second and third and fourth, fifth and sixth, sometimes seventh efforts.
Yeah, it's going to be a complete discipline game for Oklahoma City, and just continuing this stretch here of having to put together a really strong effort for full 48 minutes against a really tough opponent here inside of Paycom Center. It's made for some really fun matchups inside of this building. It's been very fun to watch. Just a reminder, that game, it tips off at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, a little bit of a later tip-off, but be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. to Thunder Live pregame. Myself, Royce Young, will get you ready for everything you need to know as we lead into that matchup against the Boston Celtics. Should be a good one here inside of Paycom Center on Thursday, because we had a really good one here tonight as the Thunder welcomed in the Denver Nuggets in the third matchup between these two teams, and the theatrics did deliver. 17 lead changes, 13 ties, and the Thunder walk away victorious thanks to a go-ahead clutch time bucket from the league's reigning MVP and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What a fun one. Until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.